Hi, I'm Alba. Welcome to the channel. This is my backlog. I've got 26 sets in total, so I've got a lot of work ahead of me in the future. You can see quite a few different themes from Star Wars, Speed Champions, and a few others there. But I'll go through each one of these individually. We'll go through each box. But you will not believe how much I paid for the last set I'll take you through. You can see it here. See if you can guess which set it is. You just will not believe how much I was able to pay for this set. Anyway, we'll get into that right now. So here's the first one we're going to look at is the Millennium Falcon, set number 75375, and it's 921 pieces. I'm just really looking forward to building this one. I think it's obviously one of the iconic ships from Star Wars. And I think in this particular scale, I think it's really interesting. I mean, I think we all love the idea of the big UCS Millennium Falcon. It's an amazing set. I would love to have it, but space and funds with other LEGO sets I want to have. When this came out, this was just an obvious buy for me. So I'm really looking forward to buying this one. I'm really looking forward to building this one. I think this is going to be a fun set to build, and it's going to look really good on display with the other starships that I have in the MIDI collection, or the Starship collection I should say, and the MIDI scale. So moving on from that one, Tan T4. Now this, to me is, for me personally, is iconic. I remember watching Star Wars A New Hope when I was a kid, and the opening scene blew my mind, absolutely. And of course, this is the first ship you see. You don't know what's going on at the time. You just see this big ship flying overhead, and then of course you see the iconics, you know, the Star Destroyer coming in behind and then swallowing this ship up. It's pretty impressive, and one of the best openings to any movie I can remember. So that's something that really sticks in my mind. So when this came out as again, MIDI scale, I like the scale of these ships. To me, it was just a really a must purchase for me. I think it's going to look really good on my display. This is set number 75376. It's 654 pieces. Yeah, this is it's going to look good. And I love the colours in this one. I think the contrast of the red and then obviously the engines as well. The engines are the iconic piece. You can see there, in fact, the image from the movie, the still from the movie there. That's what really gets me going. And it was an introduction to Star Wars. So for me, this was a must-have. So I'm really pleased with this one. Next up, we have another iconic ship. The Executor Super Star Destroyer. Now, obviously, one of these in UCS size would be awesome again, but again, size limitations. But this just looks so good, this one. I think it's one of the best looking MIDI scale ships they've done. I think this is, so this is set number 75356, 630 pieces. And I love the fact it's got the micro scale Star Destroyers as well. I think that just looks incredible. You can see there as well the contrast between the movie shot and then obviously the build, and you can see how they've done a really good job at this scale of reflecting what is in Star Wars a massive ship. So yeah, another really interesting build for me. I think it looks fantastic, and again, this was released for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, which might not be everyone's favourite film, but it does resolve the story very well, from the original trilogy that is. And to me, just again, an iconic set from a really good movie that I really enjoy. So yeah, again, I think this is just a must-have if you're into Star Wars and you've got this scale. It just is a must-have for me. Just really, really cool. Now, the last one I've got here is probably one I didn't expect to have. The Invisible Hand. This is obviously from the opening of Revenge of the Sith. I mean, I love that movie, and it's a really good opening scene, and this obviously has a big part in that scene. But when I first looked at this build, I thought, I'm not sure it's for me. But then I did get it I got it on a really good deal. I got a big discount on it. I think it was already very well priced. One of the few LEGO sets of recent times that's been well priced out of the gate. So I got this on discount as well. So it was just, to me, I might as well. I was buying some other LEGO sets at the time. I'll add that to the bag. So this is set number 75377, and again 557 pieces. But yeah, I think it's going to go well, especially as we now have the Venator in MIDI scale coming out, or I believe it is out now. So I'll be picking that one up soon. And I think those two, Venator and this, will go well together on display. I think it'll be a really good lineup together. Makes sense in terms of the story, and I think also the scale. I believe the scale of the two ships is pretty accurate to the universe in universe scale. So, which is not always the case. Obviously, you look at something like the Executor, which is a massive ship, and then you got the Tantive 4, which is a tiny ship in comparison. Yet next to each other on display, they will look very similar in size, which is not obviously true to scale in the universe. So yeah, looking forward to building these ships. But it's not just starships I've got, not just Starship Collection, so let's have another look at some more Star Wars. So looking at my helmet collection I've got. So first one up here is Princess Leia, or Bush. Set number 75351, 670 pieces. Again, this is a pretty iconic outfit. Obviously, it's just the helmet, not Princess Leia herself, but she obviously wore this in the movie. I got this mainly because I already have Luke Skywalker, I have Darth Vader, and for me, this was like completing the Skywalker collection, if you like. I don't have all the helmets. I've probably bought the last of the helmets I'm going to buy. I might get a couple more in the future, but I'm not so sure. But this was just a must-have to complete that part of the collection. So again, I'm looking forward to this. I think the helmet's displayed really nicely. I think they're a very cool collection. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one as well. Some good details on it. We'll see how the build experience is, because the helmets can be frustrating at times when you build. Sometimes really good. I think they always look good for the most part. But this is one I'm looking forward to. This will just complete my Skywalker collection of the helmets. Now I've got two coming up now, which to me go hand in hand. If you're a fan of the Clone Wars series in particular, you've got to have these two. So for me, I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars show. I wasn't always. When it first came out, I ignored it. I was a typical grumpy so-and-so. Thinking, I don't want to watch that, it's for kids. Later on in time, I ended up watching it and really, really enjoyed the series and realised, oh, I've been missing out here. So we've got the two iconic clone troopers. We've got Captain Rex, probably the most popular of the clone troopers, I would say. And then obviously you've got Commander Cody as well, another key character. So Captain Rex, set number 75349, 854 pieces. And Commander Cody, set number 75350 and 766 pieces. But I think these are just going to go so well together. I couldn't have one and not the other. This is just again, I think these just look fantastic. I think particularly the Rex one, I think that looks really good. It'd be nice to have them up. And also compare them to the Mandalorian helmet I've already got. I don't have the Boba Fett one, but I do have the Mandalorian one, which is I quite like the Mandalorian one. I just missed out on the Boba Fett one. I didn't get that one in time. This one I believe is now retired, so you can't get hold of this one. And although this has been very popular, I imagine at some point they'll retire this as well. But so I grabbed this one while I could, the Commander Cody one, and then recently I got this as a gift. Actually, it was a very nice gift. So I was very pleased to get that one. So yeah, again, really enjoy these ones. But that's the last of the helmets I've got. However, I've got a couple more Star Wars themed sets. First one being diorama of the Emperor's Throne Room. So this one, I just think is cool. It's just one of the most important scenes in all Star Wars. This is Luke's resisting the dark side, turning Darth Vader. All happens in this throne room in this scene. I think it's just iconic. And I haven't got many dioramas. I think I've only got one other diorama, Trench Run. And I did initially think I was going to get lots more of them, but I've just kind of backtracked from them. I just think for now, this is what I'm going to stick with. We'll see what else comes out, and I might pick up some of the retired ones in future if I can find them at a reasonable price. But for now, this was just a must-have for me. So this is set number 75352, 807 pieces. And I like the fact with this, obviously you can reenact different scenes from that one here. We've got the initial fight with Luke and Darth Vader, and then obviously Palpatine thinking he's won, but realizing he hasn't really, because he hasn't turned Luke to the dark side. So that's a cool one. So I'm looking forward to have this. I think this will look nice on display. Interestingly, obviously, there was another diorama, if you like, where it came out with the Death Slice. That slightly controversial set that came out recently. So that's, but when you look at that, I think this is just nice as a standalone. Obviously, Death Slice, I'll cover that another time. I don't have it, but I have my opinions as well, like I'm sure everyone else does. But this is, I believe actually this is retired as well, this set, so can't get this unless you pick it up in the secondary market. But yeah, this is I think it's a nice one, nice for display, so I'm looking forward to building this one as well. As I say about all these sets, I'm looking forward to build them because I bought them. So yeah, this is a good one. But I've got one last small set that I actually picked up. It's retired a while ago. Actually, I can't remember. I should check this. This one, was it a gift with purchase? I think it was. Was it a gift with purchase or was it for sale? I should check that. So yes, just double checked. I believe this was a gift with purchase. So I didn't get this as a gift with purchase. I found this on sale at an online retailer. So I picked up, I think I paid £50 for this, which is quite a lot for what you get. But I just think if you're going to have a Death Star, this is a pretty cool one to have. Doesn't take up a lot of space. Not like the original 2 that came out, and obviously the new Death Slice which came out, which again, as I mentioned earlier, is proving to be controversial. But yeah, I think this is a cool set. I think if you can pick it up for a reasonable price, it's worth getting. But yeah, I do look forward to building this one. I think it's going to look nice on display without taking up too much space. But it's not my last Star Wars item. I have got one more to share with you, which is coming up right now. So this next one is a first for me. This is my first UCS, or Ultimate Collector Series set that I got. It's the X-Wing Starfighter. It's set number 75355 and 1949 or 1949 pieces, depending how you want to say it. And I had my eye on this for a long time, and I just found it at the time this was really expensive. I don't know if I can go and spring that, but I did manage to get this on discount. So that kind of tipped me over the edge, because I think for me, again, one of the most iconic ships in Star Wars altogether. As a kid, I had a toy X-Wing, I had Luke Skywalker action figures. To me, this was just the coolest of all the ships at the time. And so to get this in a UCS set for me was just one of those things I really wanted, and I managed to get to the place where I could get one. So really pleased with this one. And so really this is just about me being a big kid, reliving my childhood a little bit. But I think this is going to look awesome on display. I think having the Luke Skywalker minifig as well, that's a nice touch into this set. I think it just looks good. I like the colouring of the bricks they've chosen. I think it's just going to look really good. I'm looking forward to building this one. It's going to be a bit more effort to build, but I think it's going to be well worth the effort. Yeah, so I think this is just a great looking set, and one that I'm really looking forward to building, as I repeat myself yet again. But yeah, fantastic. Looking forward to this one. And but that is not all. There are more sets to go through, and we're probably about halfway through the sets at this stage. But join me for the next set. So this next theme, I wasn't sure if I was going to share this because technically these are not mine. What we have up next is the Botanicals collection. And so the three sets here. So we've got the Mini Orchard to set 10343, 274 pieces. We have the Plum Blossom, set number 10369, 327 pieces. And also we have this one, which is the Bonsai Tree, which is set 10281 and 878 pieces. These actually belong to my wife, and I have threatened that if she doesn't build these soon, I'm going to go ahead and build them for her. But jokes aside, hopefully she will let me film these when she builds them, but we'll see. But I think these are really nice sets. She's got some other botanicals in her own little collection that she's got, and I think they display fantastically well. What I like with the Bonsai Tree here as well is that you can flip between the green version and then the in bloom version, which is really nice. So you've got that option with that set. I think it looks really good. And again, these two nice smaller scale ones, but they display very well. So I think that's going to look very good on display. So hopefully we'll see these in the channel again soon. But I have got one other one, which is technically not in the botanicals, but again, does not belong to me. We have the Kingfisher. So this one is, sorry, a bit of dust there. Kingfisher, which I think again looks fantastic. It's a good display piece. That's set number 10331, 834 pieces. But I think this is a really good looking set. Again, just what I love about these sets, like the botanicals and these ones, this is obviously an icon set, is it just shows the versatility of LEGO and how LEGO can really be aesthetically pleasing when it's done right. And these sets for me are done right. So again, this is a really nice set, and I think if you're an AFOL and you want to have something which you feel comfortable showing in other parts of your home, like your living room or your dining room or your kitchen, or not tucked away in an office somewhere or hidden in a back room, this is LEGO that you can do that with. You don't have to feel guilty about it, and it might actually be a nice conversation piece with people as well when you have it on display. So yeah, these are some sets that I think will look great, and let's see what theme we're going to go and have a look at next. Whoa, hi, yeah, no, I was not playing with that, honestly. This is for display purposes only, not play. Oh, since you're here, if you like what I'm doing here, would you give the video a like and maybe consider subscribing? Because that way you'll get to see more of my videos in future. Lots more coming up in the channel very soon. Anyway, I'm going to put this back on display. So the next theme up is Speed Champions. Now, I'm a big petrol head, and so I really have enjoyed these new Speed Champions releases, particularly the more recent ones. And I've been picking them up. Sometimes one of my little Padawans gets hold of them and they like to build them. So we have a little bit of to and fro about who gets them and who gets to keep them. But these are two that I've got coming up. So I've got, for me, the Ferrari F40 is an iconic car. It was a poster car for me when I was a kid. I just think it's an amazing car. Got a wee story of seeing one actually walking back from the shops with one of my friends and randomly seeing one driving up the road by where we lived, and which was just unheard of. You didn't see any kind of cool cars like that at all. At a push, you might see a 911, a Porsche 911, but you would never see a Ferrari. To see a Ferrari F40 blew my mind, and it looked amazing in the flesh, and that's a memory that stuck with me forever. So I think this is a I think Lego in cars, sometimes a lot of the Technic sets, aesthetically, I don't personally like the look of them usually. I think they're fantastic. I think they're really well designed, but this just looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for me. So from a display point of view, I think this is a good one. I think it looks really good. I think it'll look nice. And again, this one, the 812 Competizione. So yeah, talking about these ones. So this is set number 76934, sorry. And this is set number 76914. The Competizione, this is I think is a really good looking car, a more modern car, a more recent car. I do not think I'll be able to keep this one on display for myself. I think one of my little Padawans is going to have this one. So wouldn't be surprised, in fact, if I get help building these, to be honest. I think these will prove popular in this household. So, but these are two that I'm looking forward to building. Got another one here, another Speed Champion set, which is the McLarens. So we've got two McLarens here. We've got the McLaren F1, which again, or the F1 LM I should say, but this is again an iconic car for me, a poster car for me, one that I really I loved when I was growing up. Hearing about this, seeing it was such a mythical car almost. The top speed, 241 miles an hour, and then its race success that it had. So I'm really looking forward to building this one. Ironically, I got this set, and I think this is going to get split up because I'm really keen on this one. But my little Padawan is all about this, the McLaren Solus GT. Now I didn't know much about this car, but it's apparently a track day special. I did hear about it when it came out. I didn't really pay much attention to it because one of these cars is for very, very rich people. It doesn't drive on the road. You have to have it taken to a track by McLaren and you go and run it. And if you've got that kind of money, fantastic for you, wonderful, go and do it. If I had that money, I would certainly be up for doing that. But I did see a video online with these cars. I think it was a Shmi 150 video, and hearing this car was amazing. It sounds incredible, this Solus GT. So since seeing that video, I've been far more intrigued by them, and I think it's a much more interesting car than I did initially. So I think it's worth checking out. If you're into cars, definitely worth checking out that video if you can find it. But again, this is a nice set. It's a double set. It's set number 76918. Again, getting the Speed Champions, great for display, great for play if you want to play with them. And yeah, I think that's definitely a cool one. I got one last Speed Champion. This one I was on the fence about buying for a long time. It's been available, but I decided to get this one. This is Speed Champion. It's from the Fast and Furious, or specifically Too Fast, Too Furious, Nissan Skyline GTR. So I am massively into my JDM cars. I think they are incredible. There's so many cool cars from that golden era of Japanese cars of the 90s and early 2000s. And this is probably one of the more iconic ones in terms of pop culture, obviously driven by, in the Too Fast, Too Furious movie, driven by Paul Walker, or Brian, as he was acting. But this is an iconic one. I was on the fence with it, but I did manage to pick this up. I was buying some other Lego, and this was available cheap. You can probably see a bit damaged in this box. This was picked up from a secondary market retailer, so got it really cheap because of the damage in the box. So fine with that. Sealed, but the content should be fine. So I think this will look quite smart on display as well, and a little bit of a nod to the type of car I do like in reality, in the real world. So again, another cool set. So again, Speed Champions, probably I'm going to continue to add to this, to my collection. I have got another Speed Champions coming soon, which I'll talk about in another video, but I'm very excited about that one. But yeah, Speed Champions. Okay, next up we have the NASA Apollo 11 lunar module, or lunar lander I should say, to be specific. I'm a big fan of space, NASA, everything around that. The Apollo missions in particular, and Apollo 11 especially, a big fan of these. I love learning about these through history, watch lots of content about them, documentaries and so forth about this stuff. I just think this is a fantastic Lego set. I think it's going to be fantastic on display. This is a retired set now. I managed to grab it before it retired. I got wind it was retiring and I went, right, I need to get this before it goes off sale, because I thought it might go up in price. I don't know if it has actually, but this is going to get opened and built regardless. I think it just looks really cool. I love the look at the astronauts they've done on it. I love the design of the module. I think it's just a really aesthetically pleasing, and looks, it looks like the lunar module. It does look like the lunar lander, and some of the details look really cool. So I'm looking forward to getting that up on my display. I believe this was released for the 50th anniversary, it says there, yeah. 50th anniversary of the moon landing. I'm not going to get into controversies here. They landed on the moon. But yeah, this is I think this is one I really do. I think it's going to look great. And I wish this is the only space-based set I have at the moment. I haven't got any others. A lot of the ones I really like look have retired already. I've missed those. So maybe in time I will add more of those to the collection if I can find them at reasonable prices, and if I can make the space for them. But yeah, this would be a start of that collection for sure. I'm a big fan of everything space, so I don't think this will be the last NASA or space-based set that I will get. So next up is a set that as soon as it became available, I was getting this immediately. So this is the June Atreides Royal Ornithopter. I think this set is just a fantastic looking set. I think it's one, as a sci-fi fan, as a fan of Dune, the original book, and of the new movies that have come out, I think this is just it was a must-have for me. I think the minifig selection is really good. I think yeah, just a great selection of minifigs. I think the look of the ship as well, the Ornithopter, is fantastic. I love the fact you can have the wings either in their deployed position like this, or you can have them swung back. I think on display, I think I would end up doing this just for space purposes, but I think that this does have a functionality to it as well, which is, when it comes to Dune, this is probably one of the more iconic vehicles they have. Just this unique flying vehicle that they have, which I think looks fantastic. Certainly on film in the new Gilles Villeneuve films, looks fantastic. Again, I just think it's a great display piece, and one of those IPs that I'm just a big fan of. And I think when you get a rare chance to get a set like this, I don't know if he'll ever do any more Dune sets. I've not heard any rumours of any more. But I believe this is still on sale, so this can still be picked up. It's quite an expensive set, so this was yeah, a bit of a thought to buy this one again, just because of the cost. But however, for me, thankfully I was in a position to get it. So this is set 10327, and it's 1,369 pieces, so it's quite a sizable set in terms of piece count. But I think it's a really different set. I think it's going to be quite a different build to other sets I've got that I've built in the past. So I'm looking forward to the challenge of this build and see how it comes out. But yeah, this is a nice set I look forward to building. But the next set I want to talk about is probably the one I'm most keen to build. I think it's been highlighted as one of the favourite sets of last year, 2025, by many people in the LEGO community, and it's the Game Boy. Now I have the original Game Boy. I look forward to actually comparing it with this side by side. I think it'll be quite an interesting exercise. But I think this is, I think it just looks fantastic. I think in terms of at a glance, if you don't look closely, if you just see a picture of this, you would think, oh, it's a Game Boy. But obviously, you look close, you can tell it's not a Game Boy. But even so, I think it just looks fantastic. I think it's a great set, and another great example. I mentioned this on the talk about the big tentacles and how LEGO, when it's done right, can be so aesthetically pleasing. And I think this is just a fantastic one. The only thing that frustrates me about this set, and I'll go into it more when I go through this, when I actually build this set, it's got 2 game cartridges with it, which is cool. And it's got 2 of the more two iconic Nintendo IPs. You've got Zelda, Legend of Zelda, and it's got Super Mario Brothers, which are two great games. I just wish it had Tetris, because Tetris for me was the game on this. I spent most of my time playing Tetris on this. Just a fantastic game. But yeah, this is going to be a great build. Looking forward to it. So it's set number 72046, 421 pieces, but from everything I've heard, I think the build experience is fantastic as well. So I'm looking forward to building this one as well. I think this is, of all my sets, in terms of looking forward to building, this is the number one for me that I've got in my backlog. So whether I build it more soon, or if I decide to wait a little bit to kind of reward myself by building others before I get to this one, we shall see. But up next, we've got some interesting sets, but they do give you a clue to the last set I'm going to share with you. So next up, we've got some GWPs, or gifts with purchase. So I've got 3 here, which I'll be quite honest with you, I don't really know what I'm going to do with these. I have a choice to build them, or keep them, or pass them on. I'm not too sure. I think, let's have a look at them. So the first one I got here is the Northern Lights diorama. So this is set 40785, 332 pieces. I think it's a cool little set, looks quite nice. The Northern Lights themselves are very basic. Living where I live, you actually do get to see the Northern Lights for real. But this is a cool little set. Again, I don't know. Will I build it? I don't know. I might pass it on to one of my Padawans or someone else. Do I keep them and sell them and use the money for more Lego? I don't know. Let me know what you think I should do with these. Next one up is the Minionites Castle, 590 pieces, set number 40775. I think it's a cool little build. I think if you're into your castles, I think this would be a nice addition to your collection. I don't have any castles, my Padawans do. So I think they've been eyeing this one up, so I may not get this one to myself. This might get passed on to the Padawans. See what they think, but I think it's cool. I think the micro build of the knights on horses is nice. I think that's a nice couple of builds there. Be interesting. The last one I've got here is the hot chocolate stand. It just makes me want to have some hot chocolate. So this is set number 40776, 256 pieces. Again, I don't know about this. Not really my style, this set. I think it's a cool set. I think it's a nice build. It'd be nice in display. Again, one of my Padawans might have their eye on it. I will see what they want to do with it. But if not, tell me what you would do with these. Would you build them? Would you keep them, pass them on, or put them aside and maybe sell them? Maybe they're worth a bit more money perhaps, and then use that money to buy other Lego. I'll be interested in your take on that. Now, these are my gifts with purchase. Now the eagle-eyed among you might notice a couple of these gift with purchases were available at a certain time and a certain window. It kind of gives you a clue to the next set I'm going to share with you. Here it is. You may have seen it, spotted it in the original introduction to the video, but this is the USS Enterprise D. I am a lifelong Star Trek fan, and for years and years I had dreamed that they would come out with a Lego set. I wonder if they'll ever do a Lego set. And not only did they do a Lego set, they did a Lego set of my favourite ship, the Enterprise D. Now I know that that's not everyone's cup of tea. I think there are many out there who would like to have seen the original Enterprise or the Enterprise A from the movies. But for me, this is the iconic one. The Next Generation, or TNG, this is, for me, was what it was all about. I always enjoyed the original series of Star Trek, but when this came out, watching this series with my family was a weekly occurrence. It was just what we did as a family, and a huge part of my childhood. And this ship for me, I think is such a good looking ship. But this set, as you know, is not cheap and is the most expensive set I've bought in Lego. Retails at £350, but I did not pay £350. What did I pay? £270 I paid for this. Fantastic deal I got, because not only did I get that, I managed to get this as well. But this we'll come on to in a second. How did I get such a big discount on a brand new set when I ordered it on release day? Yes, I was one of those saddos who stayed up till past midnight refreshing the LEGO website. And it took me about 10 minutes, finally got in, managed to place my order. Well, I managed to do it because of my bad LEGO buying habit. I had quite a lot of insiders points. It actually gave me an £80 discount on insiders points. So those insider points, if you let them build up, they can help you buy these bigger sets if you let them build up over time. So that's how I was able to get this set for such a great price. And of course, I was very fortunate to get the gift with purchase that came with it. I'll talk about that in a second. So this set, I love the look of it. There are a couple of things I'm not keen on. You might notice on some of the paneling, they've got this like tan brown pieces on it, which I don't think is very good looking. I don't think it's very accurate to the original ship. I understand that they want to break up the light grey. Personally, I think they would have been better using a slightly different colour or darker grey, perhaps to show that. But I can't fault it too much. I think they have done an amazing job. To get this ship looking this good in LEGO is a really good achievement. I think it's going to be a fantastic build. I love the fact as well that the saucer section comes apart true to the actual ship in the show, and then the minifig selection is just fantastic. I think there would have been temptation to shortchange us, maybe only give us 3 or 4 of the main characters, but no, they've given us all of the main characters, plus a couple of characters which I wouldn't say are actually main characters, but they are important to the show. So you've also got Captain Jean-Luc Picard, you got Commander Will Riker, you got Lieutenant Commander Data, you got Deanna Troi, you got Worf, Geordi LaForge, you got Guinan, Dr. Beverly Crusher, and Wesley Crusher. I think these all look fantastic. I think these minifigs, they just look great. A couple of little things I'm not keen on. Probably one major one actually. Worf should have a bat'leth. He should for me. But I'll get into that more once I actually unbox this and build it and see. And maybe I'll do a review of this because I've got a few critiques on this. If I review something you'd be interested in seeing, please let me know in the comments below. I will certainly look into that. I think this is worthy of review, this set, and taking the time to do that. But yeah, this is fantastic. And of course, we've got the gift with purchase that came. I was fortunate enough to be able to pick this up to get the Type 15 shuttle pod, which comes with Ensign Rolanan, which is a really interesting choice. Now, for those who are not so up to date with the show, she was a character that came in the later seasons of the show and actually was involved in some really interesting storylines. And it was a fascinating character because she didn't toe the line. She wasn't nicey-nicey. She was difficult. And so just changed the tone of the show a bit, which in a good way. And I think she was a fantastic character. Although at the time she would annoy me with the things she would say and do. But you know, it was good storytelling and it made for some good stories and good character development. And of course, if you've seen the more recent season 3 of Picard, spoilers, she may appear in that again. But if you haven't watched that, then yeah, you might not be aware of that. Anyway, probably giving you a spoiler there. It's been out long enough. I don't think we need to worry about spoilers. But yeah, this is a fantastic gift with purchase. I think when you compare this to the Death Star that just came out and the gift with purchase that comes with that, again, that was a controversial choice. I think when you compare the two, I think this is a far better gift with purchase. However, this would actually be very cool as a set on its own, if this was sold as a set on its own. And I think it gives us an idea of if they do more LEGO Star Trek, then ships like this would be a great piece, you know, for smaller scale ships, but not on this scale, which are huge, expensive to build. To be able to do some more that would be more reasonably priced for people, to do ships at this scale or to do other ships that are smaller. So many ideas, and again, we can go into that another time. But yes, this is one I've been dreaming of that they would do, and that they did it was just a no-brainer for me. It was way above my normal budget for LEGO, but I just I had to do it. I had a bit of money saved, so I was able to do it. So yeah, this one is coming to the channel again very, very soon. So that is a run through of my current LEGO backlog. If you've made it this far, comment LEGO is awesome in the comments below. So let me know which of these that I've gone through today is your favourite set. I'm really interested to know what people like and what they don't like. I'm planning to do unboxing and speed builds of these sets. Let me know if you'd like me to do any reviews of any of these sets. So again, I'd be interested to know if that's something people would like to see. Something I'm thinking of adding to the channel. At the moment I'm focusing on unboxings and speed builds. This is a slight departure doing this again and doing a review of my backlog. I just thought it was worth doing because I had so many sets sitting. So let's have a look through and see what I've got. But I'd love to have your take, what you would like to see on the channel going forward. If you want to watch more of my content, here's a video YouTube reckons you'll like.